We all do it. Whether we are getting beat up or doing the beating, whether we are having a bad day or a day couldn't be better. It is just too easy when something we don't like or understand happens to fire off some complaints. Complaining is natural and normal, and where the occasional complaint can be an innocuous form of venting or stress relief, getting into a habit of complaining or being in an environment that transforms you into a complaint storm is not, as this all could certainly add to your feelings of stress and anger. In life, the simple answer could be to avoid these situations entirely for our own sake. However, this is not always possible, and of course running away from your complaints or problems certainly isn't always helpful either. In the world of fighting games, the same applies. If you always go into a frenzy whenever playing a certain game or against a certain character, you could definitely throw your controller to the ground, rage quit, walk away and simply never touch the game again. But this of course solves very little. Today we'll be reforming our complaining complacency by taking a look at what our complaints mean, what they can tell us about ourselves, and how they can help us improve. First thing to realize is that there are different types of complaints. To uncover how to deal with them, we'll have to put them all to the test. 1. Write down the complaint. 2. Figure out what triggers the complaint. And most crucially of all, 3. Can we do anything about the problem that triggers the complaint? The answer to the last question will obviously determine where to go from here. And though right now you might have some complaints that answer number 3 on the list with a big fat no, I want to show you that within the world of fighting games, even these complaints can be answered and teach us something about ourselves. So here are some complaints I have run into whilst playing fighting games recently, how they hold up to this method, and what I have learned from them. Number 1. Neutral drive rush is too strong. Street Fighter 6 as a game is currently almost entirely defined by its drive system. More specifically, by the incredibly strong drive rush. For one stock of meter, it allows a huge part of the cast to seemingly skip neutral entirely, throw out a big button, and go get their offense started off of the plus frames that it provides. Looking at drive rushing, or even the drive system as a whole, I'm still quite positive on it. So what about it triggers my complaining? Full screen drive rush are relatively easily checked, so they are definitely not part of my problem. My complaints trigger when at footsie range, they suddenly jut forward with drive rush, giving me little to no time to react, and even when I do, I often get punished anyway. It frustrates me that seeing the green flash, I know what they're going to do, but the game often doesn't allow me to do anything against it. So, can I do anything about this complaint? Well, yes and no. Yes, as in I should be playing against characters that can utilize this approach in a different way. Either by keeping them slightly further away so I can react better, throwing out different buttons than I normally would to stuff them coming in, or even playing more aggressively at moments where they are looking at going in for a drive rush, by going in myself and robbing them of the opportunity to do so. Sadly, none of these options are completely airtight, and they don't always work, so that brings me to the big fat no. Within Street Fighter 6, as the game is currently, with the character I like to play, I just can't always deal with moves coming from drive rush, even when I know what they're going to do. Looking at it this way immediately started cranking my old brain to a game that I love that does allow me to do just that. In Dead or Alive, no matter how slow Tina might be, or how good my opponent's approaching moves might be, the hold system that entire game is built around allows me to counter what I want to counter by reading my opponents whenever possible. So even though I can't always stop Jury's insane pressure and drive rush into medium punch, I can call out Hitomi's obnoxious kick moves and punish her for abusing them. By the way, play DOA, this game is amazing. You've all seen the Twitter clip. Fucking look at her go, goddamn! Look at this kid go, fuck! Right, that brings us to complaint number 2. Playing Manon versus JP is impossible. This character is complete bullshit blazing, and it's just impossible to get in. While JP is indeed complete bullshit blazing, my main complaint here lies with Manon having a difficult time trying to get in when pushed to full screen. So, what can I do about this complaint? I played a bunch of games with my bro Seki from our Discord, who's a great JP player. Learned the matchup and I'm currently working on a video on it. Yes, it is incredibly frustrating to fight, but knowing what to look out for and what to do helps a lot. And to all the 2 non players out there waiting for the video, I swear it's coming, I just can't look at JP for too long without getting sick, so I'm working on the video, it's been a struggle, fucking for real, it's coming out soon, I swear, goddamn. Though in this case, learning how to get better immediately led to a new complaint, about dealing with his close range options, mainly OD amnesia, and well, we all know that move just isn't pretty. Now on to some random stuff. Even innocuous complaints like, I didn't press anything, of course not Darkside Phil, could be looked at like this. Especially with the benefit of hindsight and replay options in the game, did I actually not press anything? And if the game did register a button press, and I didn't feel like I pressed, maybe my controller is broken, maybe the buttons I use are too light for me and cause accidental presses, or maybe I just complained to complain, and I know full well that it was my fault and not the game. Man, this guy is mad random. I only lost because he did some random shit. Well, did you not expect the things he did because you didn't know the character he was playing? Or did you get blown up because you were doing equally mad shit and getting called out? Anyway, whatever it is, you can learn from yourself. If it's worth complaining about to you, it should be at least worth trying to listen to yourself to find some solutions to these complaints. And where no direct solutions can be found, maybe, just maybe, you'll learn more about yourself and what it is that you are looking for in a fighting game. Anyway, that's it for this video. For real, JP video coming real soon. More videos on the way as well. Make sure to play whatever makes you happy, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.